Hey Carrie, it looks like your logo is one of the favorites. We have two others in class besides yours that we're going to move forward with changes. So great job on the logo. So I'm kind of thinking about your logo. I'm looking at it. So I don't really see a ton of things that I would change about your logo. The only thing I might change would be to maybe bump this down just a little bit. We did talk about that a little bit. Maybe bring it over just a little bit too. I'm not quite sure, but I think that this font could be improved upon. Don't ask me why I don't really like this font. I just, for some reason, it's just not doing it for me. And I think you have like a white interior with a black stroke, which I would actually maybe get rid of the stroke altogether and just have it be black. This particular font, I'm actually, I like it okay. It would just be kind of going through the list. This is sort of a nice font, this Soliel XB. And then if we go to the Properties panel, which keeps on closing on me for some reason, so I have to go to Window Properties, and let's go to More Options under Character. There's a three button thing. Click on that. Then there's a, if I move this out of the way, there's a two capital T's, and that's the all caps button, so I can make everything all caps. And I'm gonna have to make this substantially smaller to make it fit. Okay. I don't know if it should be that wide or not. Probably not. I think the way you had it was looking pretty good. So we can bring that down in size. And another thing that one of the people on the Northern Night Association mentioned was the 5-point stars. Just really not liking them. I don't mind them personally, but maybe to appease, the customer, we might just have to kind of get rid of the majority of the 5-point stars and replace them with different shape stars, which I know you tried to do earlier, but there's still quite a few. Oops. There's still quite a few of these 5-point stars that he did mention once again when I talked to him. So maybe just getting rid of a few more of those and replacing them with a couple of the other shapes that you have might be a good idea. I'm not sure if this is going to make it look better or not, in my opinion, but just to appease the, the customer, you kind of just have to go with what the customer wants. So I'll try to kind of mix up the shapes a little bit. There still are some 5-point stars in here, but there's a few less anyway this way. I'm trying to think of a way, I wonder if it would help, and I did this with Martin's logo too, but to have a shape down here? I don't know, I'm kind of trying to think out a way to make this Northern Night Association, Night Sky Association, and it might actually need the northern in there. So you might actually need Northern Night Sky Association, and then just make, you could make this bigger, same, and then maybe this could be, there's no thinner one on that one, but we could do a font pair. I don't know if this is really looking like the best font pair, but I'm going to make this 11.5, so that's about maybe even 11.75, so it's about the same width as the Northern font that I have on there. And maybe something like that. And one of the problems that I'm having with this logo, and it's not a huge deal, but the fact that there's this big bubble on this side and not on this side is creating a little bit of like, it's not completely centered or visually centered looking, because yeah, there's a little bit more visual weight on this side due to this little bubble here. I wonder if we did a Command C, Command V, and just object transform, rotate, and then just flipped it. What did I just do? Let's do a reflect. We want to reflect it vertically. And what if I just put that behind without, and maybe took the stroke off of this one so we couldn't tell that I did that. And then grab the one behind and, I don't know, maybe like just try to make it look a little bit more even. Of course, it might not look like a cloud if we mess with it too much, but that's not the best solution to the problem, I realize, but I was trying to do it as quickly as possible, and I thought, well, that'll be a quick way of doing it. But we could actually use the pen tool and hold down and get the delete anchor point. It has a minus next to the pen icon, and then we can just start deleting anchor points from this. Actually, is this the right shape? Oh yeah, this is the below shape. So really, I'm just trying to get that one little bump preserved, and I'm deleting the other areas of the shape of the cloud that I copied and flipped. And now it's still behind, but at least, and it's not the same amount of bump. It's a little bit more, but it's helping to create a little bit more symmetry in the cloud shape, which might help a little bit with just centering the text underneath. And visually that might help it look a little bit more centered. And I think if you did something like this, just something with a more bold, modern font face, with a good font pair that contrasts nicely, and add in the word Northern. Doesn't have to be the same exact font I'm using here, but maybe something similar. And we can kern the letters by pushing Option on our keyboard, and the arrow tool, the arrow keys on your keyboard, either left or right. To either the right one, if you push Option and go with the right arrow, it will make the space bigger. Or if you use the left arrow, it makes it smaller. And sometimes you have to manually kern in between the letters to get the spaces to look a little bit more even to the eye. And so, yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. I'm not totally in love with this rounded thing, but the rounded end on this really reminds me of the rounded edges of your cloud, so maybe that's why I'm going with it. But maybe let's just try this. I can delete these out of here, and then once you get your black and white logo looking the way you want it to, you can add in, the maroon and gold color to it, and that might really be enough for them to be like, yeah, we want this logo. So anyway, if you could make these changes in class, when we have time, we should have some time for you to get this done. And then, yeah, and if you need help with it during class too, you don't just have to rely on the video. You can ask me during class as well. So, okay, we'll talk to you later. Good job.